We have, of course, the management joining us on the show to talk to us about exactly what went behind the scenes. Mr. Madhavan Hariharan, the Group CFO at CK Birla Group, is joining us on the show right now. Mr. Hariharan, thank you so much for making time and speaking with ET Now today. I understand it is a busy time for you and must have been the case for the last few days as well. First up, help us understand the rationale of the deal itself. Why is the promoters, group looking at selling out of Orient Cement? What was the thought process behind this?
No, thank you very much, and very happy to talk to you. The largest strategy for us, as you know, we are a conglomerate with multiple business interests. We are in consumer, home and building, healthcare, and technology-related businesses. And we have been focusing extremely well over the last few years in terms of growth and especially on value creation. So as part of that process, we have been evaluating our capital allocation strategy, which any good corporation should do. And as part of that process, we have decided to continue to invest in the businesses that I mentioned, especially in consumer, tech, and healthcare businesses, including home and building. And we want to accelerate that as well. So it is part of our corporate value acceleration strategy as we move forward.
Value acceleration, focusing more on technology, etc., and that's what the focus is. But help us understand, are you happy with the deal? Valuation definitely something that Street likes. It's above $110 or $100 per ton thereabouts, which is the higher end of what the usual deals have been in this space. Was that a bit of a tug of war between the acquirer and the acquiree, or was it a very seamless discussion at that?
No, as you know, the company has been doing very well. The asset that has been created by the management team, we are one of the lowest cost producers in the country. There is expansion opportunity out there with a low debt. So it's a very good asset. So obviously there is a lot of interest. So no tug of war as such, but we were in a good place. We are very happy with the value that we have got.
Mr. Hariharan, are there any other covenants on the table that you have put in terms of, let's say, what needs to be done for employees, or something that is a very conditional ask of yours in terms of that this has to be met, there is some vision that you want to stick by, anything of that sort?
See, when we evaluated, one of the considerations for us is also interest across stakeholders, and that absolutely includes employees as well. So we are confident that with the new owners, once the deal comes through, the opportunity for the employees and the other stakeholders will be at a much higher level as well. So we are cognizant of that. So that was one of the key considerations. Do we have too many covenants? Not really. But I think the selection of the partner itself was important for us in terms of making sure our stakeholders, including our employees, are in a better place than where they are today.
Okay, but in your conversations with the Adani Group as a whole, did they set out a vision that they have for the company, or what they want to do with this asset specifically?
No, I'm sure they have also called it out in their press release. They want to expand. So obviously, I'm expecting that the expansion plan that we are already started will continue in full swing. So that is obviously looking for value creation opportunities for them as well. And there is enough and more in the asset to do that. And with combining their capabilities, I think this is a great platform to build for the asset and for them as well.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hariharan. This is Sharon also joining in the conversation. Just wanted to understand and in depth actually understand that exactly what is the promoter group looking at to do with the sales process proceeds. Anything specifically in the cement sector? If you could actually give us some more details on that.
No, as I said, our capital allocation strategy is to continue to invest in the businesses that I had mentioned already. And we have already been doing this over the last few years in terms of the investment. So if you see other businesses of the group, we have been both organically and inorganically growing both within and outside India. So this will only go to help us accelerate that strategy. We are a $3 billion group now. Our vision is to double that in the next 5 years, but more importantly, to triple value creation. I think we have done a good job so far over the last few years in terms of improving value, but the real opportunity is also moving forward. And we have an ambition of also expanding globally, and this will only help us accelerate that strategy as a group.
Right. So, are there any other deals that are on the table that are being considered other than the cement company that you were talking about, talking to, or any other the group businesses that you're looking at value unlocking right now? Because given the fact that you said you were looking to expand globally as well and also expand the businesses that you are in already currently.
No, we are constant. This is a constant process for us. So we are constantly looking at assets across the globe to invest and grow, and which have a good fit where we can also add value. So this is a constant process for us. Having said that, is there anything that is absolutely on the table now? Not yet, but there are multiple things that we are evaluating as we speak, both within and outside India, and that's going to be a continued process.
Mr. Hariharan, I understand it might be a difficult question to ask, and it's almost like asking a parent which their favorite child is. But within that entire group of companies that you have, the likes of Birla Soft, Orient Paper, etc., if I had to ask you for the top 2 or 3 companies that we should watch out for as the growth driver for the entire group, which would be those?
Look, you should look at us as strategic investors who want to build and grow businesses and build institutions, right? We are not there for the short term. So any of the businesses that we invest in, we are very careful to make sure that we have a solid ground and there is a true institution building and growth. It's just not about top line and profit, but it's about building the institution. So for us, all these businesses are critical as we go forward, and we will focus on all of them equally because each of them offers different kinds of opportunities for us, and our ambition is also quite high, and there is enough and more opportunity that the market and these businesses have to offer.
We also understand that the Birla Healthcare business is also looking at raising almost $150 million by selling a minority stake. Is that something that you could talk to us about? Is that something on the cards?
I don't want to go into the details of that, but it's I saw some press as well on this. I mean, this is part of our capital raise to expand. Our focus in healthcare is to expand in some of those areas that we have already set out to do. But it is not about just building scale. It is also about building the clinical excellence and being a differentiator. We want to bring in global standards in healthcare into the country, and that has been our pursuit. So this capital raise is just one step towards that. But there are more things that will happen in this business and other businesses as well.
Mr. Hariharan, in your one of the earlier answers, you did say that the aspiration of the group is not only value creation but also going international. Could you throw some more light as to what you meant about going international?
Look, today we are a $3 billion group, as I mentioned, and 1/3 of our revenues comes from outside India. We have the ambition of doubling that number in the next 4 to 5 years, and we have an aspiration to have a 50% footprint outside India, where revenues come from outside India as well. So that's an aspiration, simply because there is opportunity for us to grow and build businesses in India and outside India, and there are very attractive sets of opportunities that we are actually evaluating as we speak.
Mr. Hariharan, one more question. I do understand that a lot of other companies were also in the fray, right? From a JSW Cement to an Ultratech was being talked about. Was valuation one of those factors that you went ahead with Ambuja, or were there some other reasons as well that you picked this versus others?
Look, our ambition has always been to build a high quality company in the cement business, and I think that's what the leadership and the management team has done. And given the aspect that I mentioned in terms of being one of the lowest cost producers, ability to expand in the market, increase capacity, so we have created a good asset. So obviously, the interests were from multiple people. We had to ultimately choose a partner with whom we were comfortable with, as well as where we feel the interest of us stakeholders in the future will also be enhanced. So that we found a great fit with Ambuja Cement, and that is why we picked.
Okay, sir, on that note, we'll let you go. Thank you, Mr. Hariharan, for making time and speaking with us and candidly talking about what went behind the scenes as well as what really was the thought process behind this. So, another deal in the cement space and the consolidation clearly underway.
Absolutely, consolidation underway, and we also got to understand a bit more of CK Birla Group's plan for the other businesses as well. But on that note, we'll slip into.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits, and then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.